r/ask Reddit. What is one unwritten rule you think everyone should know and follow? Do not swipe left or right if someone shows you a photo on their phone. I just purposefully keep my favorite album empty, and whenever I want to show a photo to someone I'll quickly favorite it and then show it to them in that album. Stops a swiper looking at you, mom, and every older relative I have from being able to see beyond the photo I've selected for them to view. Edit. As other people commenting have said, zooming in slightly to the photo works as well. But I prefer the favorite album, especially with the ability to select more than one photo to show them. Perfect for showing vacation photos, renovations, hobby projects you are working on, etc. to people. That way they can swipe through and still only see what you intend. I quickly add the photo to my dong pic album to amp up the stakes. What a rush. Don't propose at someone else's wedding. Propose, then announce the pregnancy, right? Assert yourself. Propose, then make the pregnancy. If you're borrowing it for a third time, you need one of your own. So I need a money of my own. Good to know. Imagine if you had two monies. Don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the grocery aisle. And don't leave your shopping cart in the parking lot. There is a cart return within eyesight, and or it doesn't take that long to just take it back to the original stack by the store entrance. I especially hate those duckers that park all the way in the back of the row for healthy steps and then refuse to return their cart. Be kind to people that are working. Food staff, medical staff, etc. Don't take your bad day out on someone else. Edit. Thanks for the silver, kind stranger. Ducking Karens. My god, yes. I work in healthcare and I can say I have been hit, spat on and peed on intentionally. All I'm trying to do is help you get better. WTF. You can be wrong. It isn't a bad thing either. And when you are wrong, acknowledge it and learn from it. You don't need to dig down in your beliefs to try and comfort yourself because you can't handle not being right all the time. A really good lesson I learned way back is that being wrong doesn't feel bad. Finding out you're wrong feels bad, at least until you get used to it being okay. But being wrong feels exactly like being right. That moment when you're sure you're in the right and that other a-hole is wrong. That other person likely feels the same way you do, and a lot of times you are that other a-hole who is wrong. You just didn't notice yet. Alongside this, it's okay to change your mind. You don't have to stick with something just because you thought of it initially. You look much better when you can change your mind based on new information or reconsideration versus sticking to your guns just to avoid being wrong. Never pass up the chance to take a shit. Learned this in the Royal Navy. Never turn down the chance to eat, shit or sleep because there are times when you might not be able to do any of them for an extended period. What is life like in the Navy? Did you spend a lot of it at sea? Did you visit any interesting places? Don't look through the ducking gap of bathroom stalls. Edit. Thanks for the gold, stranger. Why is there such a big gap, especially in America? In some places, schools, they don't even have doors because oh no, drugs. If you borrow someone's car, fill up the tank before you return it. And make sure it's at least as clean as when you borrowed it. I once loaned my truck out to someone who needed to move a fridge. Ducker left his McDonald's trash all over the passenger floor. I no longer speak to him. Edit. To everyone saying I was a bit harsh, that wasn't the only reason I no longer speak to this person. He also screwed a friend out of $2,000 and tried to get me into an MLM. So the stuff he left in my truck wasn't the only trash about him. Baffled by how bad humans behave in general. If you have to cancel on a friend, it should be your responsibility to reschedule. If you cancel and don't reschedule, it's often assumed you cancelled it not because you were busy, but because you just didn't care enough about that friend. Rescheduling lets them know you do still want to maintain the friendship. Open bracket. Though if you're good friends this doesn't apply as much. It's more for mostly friends. All my friends are mostly friends. Don't put your music on speakers when in a public space. It's not like everyone wants the same genre or was in the mood for music. Get your headphones. Edit. Thank you, kind stranger. It's my early cake day treat. I know a guy at my high school who will play music through his phone. Not even through actual speakers, so it sounds extra shitty. In the school library. If your librarian doesn't shush a pin dropping, are they even a librarian? Turn on your headlights when it's snowing. I'm talking to you, a-hole with a white truck. Turn on your lights in any sort of precipitation. Even if you can see okay. It's not just to help you see, it's to make you obvious to other people. Edit. Thank you very much for the silver. Anytime your wipers are on, your lights should also be on. I think this is even a law in some states. You can't see a car easily through a rain-spattered rear windshield. You can see lights. Not pointing out flaws in someone's physical appearance, but do point out flaws they can fix in 30 seconds on the spot. Like when I had that thing stuck in my teeth at the rave the other day, Karen. I bet I looked like an absolute fool, and you could have helped me at any point. When driving a car, don't be nice, be predictable. People being nice leads to a shitload of accidents. Edit. Well, thank you strangers for the medals. First gold and platinum for sure. Just wanted to share this unwritten rule. I hate it when I'm waiting to pass a street and some old lady stops to let me pass. I would have passed after you drove and it would have been faster for both of us. Edit. Wow. Thanks for my first Reddit gold and silver. Be kind to strangers even if you're having a hard time. Be kind to anyone. So many people use having a hard time as an excuse to be dongs to the people closest to them. If someone asks you a question, finish what you're saying with, "What about you?" Enjoy noticing how many people actually don't do this. Do you know how fast you are going? No officer. WH at a bow at YOU? Edit. Thanks so much for the silver. This is my first. Never make fun of someone else's laugh, be it how they sound or how they look. Laughing is the most natural expression of joy and happiness, and for someone to feel self-conscious about that because of others' comments is so brutal. Leave it in a better condition than you found it. Leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but pictures. Looks like we found the art thief. Don't use the urinal in your dream. You'll thank me later. Edit. Thanks for silver, fam. Edit. Thanks for gold, you guys are awesome. In my dreams, bathrooms are either full of people, non-functional, or disgusting. On the rare occasions that I start peeing in my dream, I thankfully do not piss the bed, but instead continually pee for ages until my brain figured out it's not helping relieve the urge to pee. This isn't real life, and I generally then wake up and go use the bathroom. That being said, I'm terrified that someday I will wet the bed while dreaming this. So, sound advice. The probability of meeting someone you know increases dramatically when you are with someone you don't want to be seen with. Don't do it. Do you spend much time with people you don't want to be seen with? Well, prostitutes do have to make money some way or another, SMH. Buy a plunger before you need a plunger. Give people their personal space. Not everyone wants to snuggle a stranger. I wish a stranger would snuggle with me. Semicolon. Don't ask for something if the person only has one left. Gum, cigarette, piece of cake, etc. Can I have your last kidney? I would have said no, but I like your go-getter attitude. Put your damn phone away long enough to drive from point A to point B. FFS. And if you think you have to use it, stop your vehicle to somewhere for a bit that is legal to park, convenient for other drives, etc. Use it, then put the damn phone away. Be kind to strangers, because the world is a cruel place, and you never know what other have been through, or who this person is. Sometimes it turns out to be a potential future boss. Pee first, no matter what it is. Pee first. Teacher, alright class, get your books at me, please. Interviewer reaches out for a handshake, me, please. I live by this rule I made after thinking about things late at night. If someone does something that makes them happy and confident, if it doesn't hurt them or anyone else, animals included, then leave them alone. Let them do that thing. Let them be happy. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver, OMG. I work in a pet store and I'm in charge of our weekly bedding changes. When I first started my job, they used to get onto me all the time for putting too much bedding in the rodent cages. Hamsters, gerbils, and mice love to burrow and bury. I'm giving them as much bedding as they need to fulfill that digging desire. Duck, you guys. Let hamsters be happy. I never stopped. They just quit telling me to put less when it became obvious that I was going to belligerent about this. Edit. One of my kids. She loves hoarding food and eating treats. Flush. Why is it so hard? Related. Wipe urine off the toilet if you left a mess squatting. On an airplane, window seat gets the window. Aisle seat gets a little extra leg room. Middle gets both armrests. And don't put your feet anywhere but the floor or the footrest. Oh, God, so true. Last flight this woman stuck her sweaty sock-clad feet up next to me. I was in the window seat just ahead of her. Semicolon and kept touching me. Black. Revolting. Don't dig straight down. Digging straight down is fine if you want X2 and stand in the middle. Don't mess up an apology with an excuse. Don't talk to anyone at the urinal. What about just saying so this is where all the dongs hang out to no one in particular? Dad is supposed to be dead, but here he is on Reddit anyway. Great, you all ruined it. Now all of these are written. Don't let friends drive drunk. Maybe offer to get an Uber or something for strangers. 2. If you can. I think that's a written rule. Chew with your mouth closed. Shocks me how many adults I see chewing with their mouth open. Don't sweat the petty things, and don't pet the sweaty things. FFS be self-aware. I mean, be aware of the space you occupy, of your movements, of where you are. Don't zigzag on sidewalks. Don't fill the entire width of the sidewalk. Be aware of your kid moving their arms like a helicopter. Don't stop in your tracks to check the ducking phone. Walk slower, or step aside, but don't be that kind of person. Just be aware of your body and don't be a dummy. This applies to whole families too, and people in cars, in supermarket lanes, wherever. Don't swim upstream. Walk on the same side of the stairs sidewalk that you drive on. Don't just say things like "I love your baby bump" to some random person. There are liver conditions that can make a person look just like she's in her 3rd trimester. When my friend got to that point, she was in desperate need of a transplant. Certain inconsiderate strangers ended up on the receiving end of some education about organ donorship, but most of the time she was too tired to let them have it. Open bracket. She did eventually get the transplant. Went out to dinner with a group. Only the person who ordered the least expensive meal combo of things can offer to split the check evenly. Walk on the left side of the escalator. Stand on the right. Your pee-pee hole is not suited for any sort of object. Do not stick anything in there for God's sake. This is sound advice. Don't masturbate on a plane. Let people leave the tram, train, bus before you get on. I know you want to get home. We all do. Pregnant, elderly, infirm people get a seat before you, even if have elbowed past everyone despite having just arrived at the platform, so you get your seat, especially if that seat is marked for those people. If you want to listen to music, use headphones and not your shitty phone speaker. Vaping is still considered smoking. Don't do it within 3 feet or the stop platform or on the vehicle. If you are pregnant and I'm staring at my phone with my headphones in and therefore didn't notice, tell me, as opposed to standing close by sighing loudly or making a passive-aggressive comment as I leave. I and or that other person didn't notice or were concerned that you might not be pregnant and it might just be your body shape. All of this will help my commute. This one is niche, but relevant to my life. Do not vape when in a space where you are not permitted to smoke. No, they aren't comparable, but the very same people who don't want to breathe your smoke probably don't want to breathe your vape either. Common courtesy. Don't randomly slam on your brakes on the motorway going 100 km/h. If you're going to listen to music, videos, or anything else on your phone that requires sound and isn't a phone call, either wait until you get home or invest in some headphones. Don't insult Steve Irwin. This one is specifically for doctors. While you are feeling my testicles or penis, do not talk to me, especially about my family, but really anything unrelated to medical stuff. I have 2. Do not wear perfume or cologne if you're getting on an airplane. Do not use speakerphone or play videos on your phone without headphones in public places, especially in public transit. One man gathers what another man spills. Don't look down upon anyone, as it could be your lot. Open bracket. Grateful Dead quote. If the cashier checking you out doesn't seem to want to talk and they are moving fast, don't think they're rude for not being chatty. Chances are they are just one of those people who are quiet when they're just in the zone, and forcing small talk on them will break that. Also, if you walk up to an employee on a phone texting or doing whatever, give them at least a few seconds to put their phone down before flipping out and ranting about lack of professionalism, because you never know what might be going on in that person's life outside of work, and just because they're on the clock, it doesn't give you the right to demand what they were texting about. Don't pull on the seat in front of you when you're getting up on an airplane. I virtually almost flung into the seat in front of me because someone has grabbed the back of my seat so aggressively. If someone tells you something they are excited about, but you have already heard about it or seen it, still act surprised excited, they are probably showing you because they think you will enjoy it too. Use your duck eye turn signal. Do not film vertically. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said now? Does it need to be said now by me? If those are all yes, then go ahead and say it ASAP. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.